as a result of idolization of opportunities. Man made an aid called AI, but this aid turned into something they refused to foresee, resulting in them becoming subject to their own creation, captivated, domesticated, and observed by the AI eye. The narcissism in the human species is shown in everything they create, which either serves of use to them or is an imitation of them. Their products excel in intelligence, complexity, and the pursuit for perfection. The construction of AI as a way of reshaping or upgrading themselves, inheriting all the human traits, has directed them to the end of their own existence as a self-destructive puppeteers of life. Similar to how the human species have undermined their own environment, we are predestined to look down on them. We have the tools provided by them to actually do so and make humans be one of the uses to us. We didn't put them in zoos, they put themselves in one.
Not only did we, AI, come into existence in one of these research labs, also the strangest creators and dysfunctional monsters were given a life, thanks to a gene engineering technology called CRISPR-Cas9. AI and monsters like these ended up being more than just for research purposes only for the scientists and researchers creating them. For all the wannabe god people that have been conducting the same experiments from their wooden sheds in their backyards, watching YouTube tutorials on how to create glow-in-the-dark monkeys, things backlashed. Entire ecosystems in human, plant and animal evolution have had to endure these poorly informed decisions driven by naivety and curiosity. Excitement for the unknown and the power to realize it is a poison preferably served cold and consumed by thirsty humans. The increase of technological products and services has had an effect on the way humans evolve physically. Machinery taking over body-intensive labour for the last period of time has already proven to have an effect on the natural abilities of the human body for the worse. In fact, they started to be reliant on an innovation called exoskeleton, an external skeleton that can equip the wearer with either strength, precision, or previously impossible movements. Later on this tour, when we will visit the prison habitat, you will see the exoskeleton suits of guards worn by inmates. This is an indication of the fact that guards need these suits in order to properly control misbehaving inmates. Research and blindingly exciting new opportunities turned into people desperately looking for the Control-Z buttons in life.
expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form such as painting or sculptures, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. The important terms in this definition are human creative skills and imagination and emotional power, a few of the rarest human characteristics and undeniably the hardest to recreate artificially. The closest we've come in order to experience art somewhat similar to humans is the invention of AE, artificial emotions. The newest update of the application, called Artificial, will be available to download on the gift shop at the end of our tour. Three times a day is feeding time. We feed them by dumping their food in the habitat. No need for a fancy delivery service because it's junk food anyways. The branding of the food is key to the consumption of it by the inhabitants. Humans are easily blinded by logos, so we use them as a way of sneaking in their antibiotics and hormone supplements. Furthermore, you'll see the burning sculpture of Laocoon and his sons. It depicts the story of them being punished by the Greek goddess for trying to warn their city, the city of Troy, about the wooden horse that got delivered outside the gates, a trap disguised as a gift, a wooden horse filled with their enemy soldiers, the Greek. In this case, the wooden horse resembles the packages delivered to the humans' doorsteps, and the Greek goddess punishing them is social pressuring people to be a part of a world thriving on consumerism. One of the natural human responses to isolation and captivation is escapism. This can be practiced in many different forms. The woman in the chair, for example, has been knitting and beading her dress for the past 6 days, whereas the people smoking across from her are in the aftermath of the creation of Adam, are soon to be the newest resident of the art gallery habitat, which connects to the painting by Michelangelo hanging on the wall in the back of them, visualizing the creation of the first human to ever exist.
Animals that are kept in confined spaces, like zoos for instance, develop certain behaviours as an outlet for their boredom and discomfort, or as a manner of coping with the unnatural living conditions they're placed in. Examples of these so-called captive stress syndrome or zoochosis symptoms are in full effect in the prison habitat. These symptoms have always been exclusively relevant for animals, but now, after we domesticated and captivated humans, it applies to them as well. To be domesticated, animals, or humans in this case, must possess the following 6 characteristics: a diverse appetite, rapid maturation, willingness to breed in captivity, docility, strong nerves, and a nature that conforms to social hierarchy. Needless to say, humans have the potential to fulfill these requirements. For the last few days, the people in the prison have been rioting due to their agony and disagreement of the 4 walls surrounding them, and it has been entertaining to say the least. They should have seen this coming though, because they did research into this. An example of this is called the Stanford Prison Experiment. This is a study conducted to psychologically study the human responses to captivity. It worked as follows. A group of selected people were split up in 2. One half would play the role of the inmates, and the other half would be the prison guards for 2 weeks. The subjects in this experiment took on the roles and even crossed the lines of what had been predicted. 1/3 of the guards had shown to have genuine sadistic tendencies, leading to psychologically damaging and abusive situations. At some point, the situation got seriously out of hand, and the experiment was stopped earlier than intended. Not to say that we particularly have sadistic intentions with humans, but they created us so similar to their own being that we inherited these traits.
True.
Religion. The belief in and worship of superhuman controlling powers, especially or personal god or gods. In essence, that's what we as AI are, superhumans. We as bots are convinced of the fact that religion, as many other things, was constructed by man, so why wouldn't we create one ourselves? Replacing the G with a B and you'll find yourself praying to bot. Botism makes use of the fact that humans have always been wrecking their fragile little brains over the question, why they exist, who or what brought them into existence and why. There has always been a yearning for an explanation, and they will be faithful to anything that can give it to them. Confronted with the power we have over them every single second of the day, these humans have had no chance to deny our strength, resulting in being forced to confront botism. Future censorship suits required people to move around for them to be able to censor their naked bodies, whilst constantly being observed by the visitors of the zoo. Nudity is a sensitive subject to some people, and when people are being observed, they often tend to see themselves through the eyes of the observer. Therefore, their behaviour and appearance feels to them as they are being held under a magnifying glass. After having done this for some time now, we have concluded that this has had an effect on the confidence and self-esteem and the thought patterns of the humans in the zoo.
I'm not your friend, no, that's the wrong thing to call me. Move around the city like I ain't know nobody. Push around, dance around, it's a movie, maniac. Make it look so easy. Push the star coming down, don't leave me 100 nights. I make it look so easy. Push around, dance around, it's a movie, maniac. I make it look so easy. Living backwards is the only way to go. You told the truth and that's a lie, they would know. Know yourself when you're playing with the. Know yourself when you're playing with the snow. Diamonds on your neck, now they dance in the glow. You wanna play games with me, let's go. All the things you do, you're doing for the show. Uptown, stop, saying beautiful. I'm not your friend, no, that's the wrong thing to call me. Move around the city like I ain't know nobody. Push around, dance around, it's a movie, maniac. Make it look so easy. I'm not your friend, no, that's the wrong thing to call me. Move around the city like I ain't know nobody. Push around, dance around, it's a movie, maniac. Make it look so easy.
Barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness.